Hi guys, it's me Karen. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do part 2 of this page we're working on here in Linda Ravenscroft Fairy and Fantasy Art book number 2. This is the page we're actually doing. I'm just doing it in different colors. I'm going to do a little more inking here. Most of this is ink, and then on the face of the unicorn we did a lot of pencil work in blues. A little blue on her too also. I'm going to bring in some oxides here in Dusty Concord and Broken China. Now we used some Dusty Concord in the original ink for the unicorn here. We're going to bring in an oxide which is going to give us a different look here. And I don't usually use it too often, but in this book with the grayscaling we can do that and cover up some of the coloration here. I'm also going to take my eraser. I did a little bit of this on this side. I don't care for the big dark circle here, so I'm going to use this to erase this line. This is just the whatever you want to call it, matte electric eraser. It has a charging point here. You have nibs that you can change here. Comes with a whole bunch of these little eraser things and little plastic things here. Anyway, we're just going to take it and get rid of this line, number 1, and then bring in some coloration here. I'll get you down so you can see that just a bit better. Okay. I'm going to find another spot to show it to you though. Okay, we're going to work up here. We just take the eraser and go over where it's really dark. Kind of go over that line a bit. Bring it out into the lighter area and make some lighter points too. Then we'll go right up to the moon here. And just run it around. What I'm trying to do here is blend it into this background up here, because we're going to be inking this in a way that I want this color to be the same up here. So all we're doing is erasing some of that line and adding in some of this like splotchy stuff here. Okay, I'm going to go all the way around and do that. Okay, get a little more over here. And that takes care of that circle. This is his hair up here, so we have to be a little more careful in that. There we go. Adding all that down in here too. Just lighten up some areas. And there we go. I think that's pretty well blended in up here. If you don't like the sharpness of that, you can also bring in a different eraser. Do it by hand and soften those up. This just hurts my wrist, so I don't like to do it this way, but it will bring up some of that color also. And soften your edges here. Okay. There we go. I'm going to be inking over these, so it doesn't really matter. But if you wanted to do that, this eraser is just a Sumo grip eraser. I'll try to link these down below. Not the best at linking things. Here we go. Ink number 1 is the Dusty Concord in the oxide. Oh, well, before I do that, I'm going to take a second and I'm going to go around with sticky notes. I want to keep the frame, so we're just going to go around the edges here and sticky note it up. Just kind of keep your line straight so you know what you're doing here. We don't want to go over, but we don't want to go under. I want to be on the other side of the gray. And we don't want a lip there either. Anyway, I'm going to take some time and do that. Okay, now we are all greened up. Really pretty color. The oxide's coming in. You'll notice a difference between, well, besides the color of gray here, the oxide and the distress ink. This one is going to be your transparent. This is going to be kind of a little chalkier color, which means it'll cover more. It's a hybrid ink, so it does some fun stuff when you add water to it. I'm just going to take it and go around in here. Take it up higher. You'll notice that this will cover up more of the black than the other ink will, but it's kind of what I wanted it to do. Can kind of see what I'm doing here. Go back down here. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom of the page. This ink also takes a little longer to dry, so the distress ink dries pretty quick. This ink will take a little longer because it sits on top of the page. Okay. Clink, clink, clink. We're going to add a little bit of the oxide in broken china. Use the same ink pad. Put it on the other side. And add a little of that in there too. This will be real close to her skin color. Throw a little of that in the flowers down here. And then we'll take it up towards the top. Some in the moon. Seeing that. Okay, that's enough oxide. We're going to have to let that dry. Maybe before we let that dry, we're going to throw some water on it. And then we can see what the oxide does when it gets wet. Maybe still up there at the top. Let's see if I could get this not to stream like that. Hold on. All right, spray it up here. Kind of wherever the ink is. Especially up here at the top. Let it sit in for a little bit, and then we're going to pull it out. More up here that's not so. There we go. Want it blotchy, but I don't want it too blotchy. Okay, now down here at the bottom. Now the more that dries on this ink, it will turn into kind of a gray tone, which will be pretty. Okay, so we'll be back when that dries. Okay, we're all dry. Then what I'm going to do now is take a little of the dusty concord and the regular distress ink, because you can use these together. And I'm going to go around the edges and darken it up a little bit in some spots with that. Let's see where we are in there. We can go down here and add some in. I'm going to go over some of these flowers too. Just darken that corner up a bit. Put a little purple on that side. Okay, let's get this down. We'll do it up here at the corners. Turn a bit up here at this top corner. You can see it's a different color than the oxide completely. Put some on that corner. Then we're going to throw in some of this chipped sapphire blue. In here too. All right, then down at the bottom, if I can get to the bottom again. Alright, then we're going to see what it looks like when we pull off all our greenery. We still have our nice little white edge here, as long as I don't touch it with my inky fingers. There we go. And then I'm going to take the white pencil and lighten up some areas here. Okay, so like our little moon here, we want to lighten this up. It's just a prisma white. Don't want to lose our texture, but we do want to add a little color in there. Okay, just to brighten that up. Little brightness highlights here. There we go. And we'll lighten it a little down in here. Wherever you think it needs a little lightness. Oh, maybe over in this area here. Okay. Now we have to work on the mane that comes down and the butterflies we haven't even touched yet. So our mane we want to do in the blues with the light purples. It's going to have some dark areas, but not as much as the unicorn itself. We're going to lighten up his horn a little too. So we're just going to pull out all the light colors I had on my desk. We have the light magenta, I think. Yeah, light magenta. I'm going to point out all these, so we're just going to go in. All this is inked with different colors, so like when we see the purple here, we are going to throw in some purple. When we see blue, we'll throw in the blue. Keep kind of that haphazard look here. Got any pink up in there? A little over here. And we're just going to put some up here. Down in here. If you want to lighten up some of her hair, we'll do it the same way with the eraser. I just want to get the eraser tip out a little further. Make sure it's clean-ish. We don't want to put any other color in there, but we want a few more highlights in her hair. You can just lighten it up like that and then add your color into that. And pull some down here. I believe this is part of his mane, but it goes into her hair, and I'm going to make it look a little more like her hair in a minute. Let's see, we'll pull in some of this turquoise. Which is from her skin, so we'll throw some up here. Pull it down into these little strands that are flowing around too. go around and throw in some hair here and there. Okay, let's get a purple here. This is purple violet. You might have noticed I went over all the stars on the horse. I was going to show you how I did her face too. I went over these just with the white prisma. We want to make sure we have no other color in here because we're on blue. And just kind of put a heavy pressure on those gray lines of the stars, just to lighten them up. And it does a pretty good job of lightening them up. They'll still be there, which is fine. I just don't want the big black line. So we're just lightening it. And since we're doing pencil and ink on this, it's a lot easier to lighten them with the white prisma than to go in with posca. Then you just go over the colors that you had in the skin to begin with, right over the prisma. And then you get the little light star effect on there instead of the dark gray. So you still see them, they're just lighter. Okay, so we're going to do that on all of those. Let's see, what were we working with? The purple? I need to get a blue out here too. Sorry, I'm turning the book, but kind of have to. Okay, deep blue. What do we have here? We're going with the Persian blue. Okay, we'll bring in a tiny bit of the blue I can't pronounce. That one. We're just going to take little tiny strokes on all this, trying to leave a white spot, but you can always erase to get that white spot back in if you want. On this paper, it's just going to go over that star too. It'll still be there. A lot of hair in this. Probably pretty boring for you to see. Lighter color blue here. Gonna throw a little white in there. Sorry I keep moving the book, but camera being in the mode it's in, to take autofocus off, I have to keep the book and the camera in one spot. Going to bring it down and give it some extra curls and highlights. These are those little pearls in here. If you want, you can lighten them up a little bit. If you think you got them a little too light, just go in with a little color and knock it back a little bit. Take a little blue and darken this hair up right in here. And right on that side. Go over the prisma. You just do it lightly. Okay, I'll just keep working with that, putting in highlights and knocking it back. Butterflies we have to do. We're going to do this one in purple, I think. What color are the ones on the cover? I have no idea. Oh, just real light blue. Can't do real light blue, but I can do a little real light purple. So we're going to bring in the magenta that we had. And we're just going to touch the top of the wing up here. Did a little blue ink in there, which is fine. You want, you can take a little bit of the purple violet and just darken it, touch down here at the base. We're going to do the same coloration up here on this little guy. The flowers I really don't think need much. They're just kind of gonna blend in. With the base down here. Add a little bit of color to them. but not much. The wings we're going to do a little bit more by taking our dark indigo. I'm going to get a little sharper point on that. Okay, we're going to go right in the tip here, and we have the pin part of the feather that comes out. I'm going to make sure all those are nice and dark. Then we can bring some of this in towards that pin and give these feathers a little bit more definition there. So every one of those gets dark down in the base. Come out. Okay, so that gives us a little more depth in there. I'll put this on her and the star that she's wearing in her ear. Okay, then we're going to take our white and we're going to fluff the feathers on the top side. So we're just going to take this and pull it out a little bit. You can put some down here too if you like. Just so they look a little fluffier. Especially on these littler ones. Make that a little bluer, so we're going to bring in some of that little turquoise that we had out earlier. Put a little of that in those flowers too. Go over it really lightly with this turquoise. throw some of that up here in the hair too. In the moon, you can put it up here in the background. A little glow going there. Take the black here. Try to get a point on that. And we're just gonna follow these lines down where the hair is. And just kind of give it its little pieces. Darken up her eyes here. Few more little details on our butterfly. Add some extra spots on it. Just add in a few little lines here to get the hair to go the direction you want, or to deepen the little curls in there. Just kind of touching things up. Inside of these flowers, I'm just going to put some ink I think we'll go with the prized ribbon. And we're going to use a detail. Yeah, we're going to use it if I can hold on to it. Just add a little blue in there. I'm going to add a little blue up here in the hair too. Get a bigger one for that. There we go, and just add tiny little highlights that we took out. Just a little bit of white right up in here. Highlight on her fingernail. Make sure we have her highlights in her ear here. Her earring. Underneath her brow. Yep, I think we're about done. Okay, what I'm going to do is take a picture and show you what it looks like at the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I might play with it just a little bit more and get this a little bit more smoky look up here at the top. That's just wiggling around with the pencil. Putting the highlights here and there. So I will show you what it looks like at the end of the video. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I'll probably see you after Christmas. So have a happy holidays, everyone. Bye now. Take care.